The Connection Show. Inspiring hope, health, healing. Connecting the dots of your story and transforming your life. Sponsored by Braveheartworkshops. Live with JillReynolds.
The Connection Show, inspiring hope, health, and healing. Sponsored by Braveheartworkshops Live with JillReynolds. And we have an amazing guest you'll be so excited to get to know today. Her name is Gloria Grace Rand. Welcome to the show for 2023, Gloria.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Jill. I'm so excited to be here and to share my story with everyone.
Well, we'd like to kick off 2023 on a high note with all of the winter storms that hit us across the country with a quick commercial break from for the Aruba Connection Getaway. You can see the beach in the background to Aruba, February 5th through 11th, and we still have 3 spots left at a very fabulous price. So I'm going to play the commercial, and I hope you'll join us in Aruba. Join us for the hope, health, and healing Aruba Connections Getaway for men and women, February 5th through the 11th, 2023. Are you overworked? Stressed out? Feeling exhausted? Is it time to spoil yourself? Breathe in life and relax at private villas in Aruba for 6 nights and 7 days. Renew your mind and body. Discover greater self-awareness. Join in connection, wellness, stillness, movement, enhance inner peace. Experience amazing beaches. Enjoy snorkeling, area attractions, shopping till you drop. Dine at fabulous beachfront restaurants. Imagine releasing anxiety, reconnect with yourself, restore your soul, bring your friends. Enjoy fresh and savory cooked meals, lasting memories. Join us now. Register today. Book your flight and getaway to Aruba, February 5th through the 11th, 2023. Register by going to Braveheartworkshops.com. Pack now and see you on the island of Aruba. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get away for some sand in pristine Aruba to the Happy Island. What about you, Gloria, with all this cold weather?
I know, yeah. And I'm fortunate in that I do live in Florida, but over Christmas, it was in the 30s. It was way too cold for me. That's why I left Michigan.
Well, even if you live in Florida, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to Aruba on a quick flight. And I have an amazing villa with right on the beach, a private swimming pool, your own bedroom, your own bathroom, and connecting with other people. So it's only going to be 5 to 6 of us. So it's going to be really, really a wonderful getaway for couples and or singles. So we want to just jump right in now because Gloria's got an amazing story to share. So take us on a journey, if you wouldn't mind, Gloria, back to little Gloria growing up, from childhood, grammar school, junior high, high school, if you did college, into how that led you into who you are today, to this journey of live, love, and engage.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, it is interesting. And I've spent time looking back over my life and kind of seeing how things did lead me to where I am today, even though when you're going through it, you don't necessarily see it. So just to give you an example, so as a kid, my favorite things to do was to dance. My mom treated me to dance lessons. She gave up smoking cigarettes to pay for them, which was really nice. And so I did ballet, tap and jazz, and my idols were Judy Garland and Gene Kelly. And imagine seeing myself on stage. I also loved to sing. And that was another thing that my mom instilled in me, was a love of singing. As well as a love of reading too. So between all of those.
So I want to pause for 20 seconds. So I too love Judy Garland, and my grandma, when I was only 5 years old, and I'm going to see if you remember this, took me to see Gypsy. Remember the movie? Did you see Gypsy?
Yes.
And I love to sing and dance too, and sell little tickets in the garage and do little shows. So I went to see Gypsy, sold my tickets, and the kids came, and I started to do my striptease in the garage, and I got spanked, and I was so embarrassed that it set me back. So I was like, what did I do wrong? I was just trying to be Judy Garland. But go on your story. But when you said that, I was like, flashback memories. Yeah.
I know.
And did you dance to her songs too? Because that was, even though as little kids, we didn't know the difference. We just saw the movie and thought, I want to be Gypsy.
Yeah. Not to hers, but I did do a tap number to New York, New York. So that's Liza Minnelli sang it first, actually, before Frank Sinatra did it. And I loved, I would watch Wizard of Oz every year, and I just loved. I had the album too, the soundtrack. So when in between, in the old days, when you didn't have like a VCR to be able to watch it whenever you wanted, like my kids did, I would amuse myself by listening to the music instead. So music was always a huge part of my life. Being on stage was part of my life, and then, but there were also some not great parts about growing up as well, in that my family life was not always the greatest, and that's kind of why I sought escape in dancing. My dad was an alcoholic, and so that's it did play a role in me, especially then, because he and then my mom had a temper because she was dealing with being married to somebody like that, and so I started doing this sort of being in the background and not wanting to really. At home, it was better to be, seen and not heard type of thing, because I saw how I had an older brother and older sister, and they would fight with my, mom especially. And although they both, in a way, I actually grew up as an only child, because my sister was 10 years older than me. My brother was 14 years older than me. So they moved out of the house when I was still quite young. So that was, an interesting way to grow up too. And so I was not wanting to, like I said, not wanting to really be center stage, although there was always part of me that did. so and that I could be out on, when I was dancing, that was joy for me.
And one thing that I've seen, and tell me if this resonates for you, when we have older siblings, or even only a year or two older, and when they leave home, when we are in a dysfunctional family system like alcoholism, what I've experienced, and tell me if you did, I've experienced people going through abandonment issues and feeling really disconnected, and as though our siblings left us in the insanity. Did you recall any of those emotions or feelings?
Yeah, I think so. Probably. I did. And, I've also been very good at blocking out things that are negative in my life too. And that, sometimes I try not to remember that, because it's my way of coping. But yeah, it was, I think I did feel that way. And of course, back then, again, showing my age, we didn't have cell phones. So long distance phone calls were very expensive. And so we more relied on letters. My sister maybe would write me letters from college, and then later when she was traveling around the world and things like that. And so we really didn't become close until I grew up, and frankly, until after I became an adult. And I'll talk more about that later, because that also plays a huge part of what I'm doing now and where the book Live, Love, Engage came from as well. So
And one more question then. So
yeah,
since you said that all, so a real big question. So if you can take us on the journey growing up as well. So one
yeah.
thing that I've learned over the years, Gloria, is when we tend to block off those emotions that are painful, that we don't want to go to, we don't want to remember, even though we're blocking them from speaking, our body knows those emotions. And so it manifests in physical illnesses, cancers, anxiety, depressive disorders, all different things. So going back again, so we can stay back into your childhood. So knowing that you blocked emotions, did it manifest physically in your body?
Oh, yeah, because I chose to stuff my feelings with food
Okay.
because that was also modeling what my mom did as well. So, I mean, I remember writing in my diary, I think like at age 7 or something, that I weighed, more than I should have. I don't even remember what it was, but it was like I was, teased, called fatso and things like that. And I look back at the pictures from when I was little and I wasn't, grossly overweight. I was chubby, I think you would say. And, but I do remember finally by the time I was in middle school our middle school, it was called junior high and it went from 7th to 9th grade. And so in 9th grade, I actually had slimmed down a little bit and I think I wore like a single digit dress, and I was so proud of that for a change instead of wearing, size 12, 14, what have you. But yeah, food has been, I was almost going to say the bane of my existence. Isn't that a terrible phrase to think of? Because it's supposed to be, something, you're supposed to eat to live, not live to eat. But I was kind of doing it the other way around because
even even with that, so as a child you utilize food to push down your emotions, and then as you were getting shamed and made fun of for being chubby, as they said, and getting smaller, did you find yourself then going into restrictive avoidance disorder where you would restrict meals to reduce calories to look good, again associated with body image?
Yeah, not so much that, but I mean, my mom was, she was always doing, she was actually, when I was really, really little, she was actually a Weight Watchers lecturer. And so she had lost quite a bit of weight and was doing that. And then, life got in the way or whatever, and she started eating again and was, kind of constantly on a diet and things like that. And so I would do the same type of thing. And I think, we tried Atkins for a while when that became popular in the 70s, I think, and, different things. But I didn't I didn't go the route of like, anorexia or bulimia or anything like that because I still, frankly, would still prefer to eat. And then, and just deal with the fact that maybe I'm just, not going to be thin. And it's been, kind of that roller coaster thing, throughout my entire life where I would be, sometimes more, sometimes less. I would pay attention to it. And, but I didn't do any, weird kind of too many fad diets. I think I did try like self-hypnosis and things like that for a while to help with it over the years. And it's, I've gotten better. I still I kind of indulged over the holidays. So it's like, okay, today I'm like getting back on track now. And but I found a way of eating in this last year that, is, that suits me and that, that allows me to still enjoy foods that I like. And that are nourishing for me and that fill me up, but then I don't have to, go crazy. So, but, once in a while, over the holidays, it's nice to have cookies sometimes.
And for wholeness, it's balance, not abstinence. So there's nothing wrong with having treats. And when you go in deprivation mode with food, that's when you tend to want to overeat because you just deprived yourself of all pleasure, because food is supposed to be nourishing and pleasurable. So Thank you for sharing that piece. So go back then to the junior high and high school. And so you had, started to feel these feelings. Your siblings have left home. Food's become a source of kind of healing and burden release in your life.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, I in high school, especially junior high was, I think junior high sucks for everybody, frankly, there were girls that, bullied me and things like that. And high school was such a much better time for me. I really enjoyed it. I was in the high school band and just, I had a few close friends and it was much better. I participated in lots of different, activities because I wanted to be in the school yearbook and things like that. And I even, now I didn't really date in high school. So I wasn't really involved with boys. I asked one boy to the Sadie Hawkins dance, and then he didn't want to go to the dance. So we went to his church for a church event instead. And was like, that was okay. But then by the time prom came around, it was like nobody asked me, and I was like, I want to go to my senior prom. It's like I just didn't want to miss out on this event for whatever reason. So I was friends with someone who was 2 years older than me. He'd already graduated, and I asked him if he would go with me to the prom, and he said yes. And so I got to go to the prom, and I got the big dress, and this was with the big hoop skirt and everything. This was 1980, and I went with a few friends, and the dance actually was not that great. So we wound up leaving early, and we went to a big boy restaurant, and we ate dinner there, and then went to my friend's house and watched TV and stayed up late, and it was fun, and I'm glad I got to do it. So, but at the same time as this was going on was also my parents' marriage was falling apart. And so my dad wound up moving out of the house, I think it was my senior year. And so I'd been trying to figure out, my parents wanted me to go to college because my sister had gone. And, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to even major in. And I had this dream of going to the University of Miami, because I mentioned I grew up in Michigan, but my grandmother had moved to Florida when I was little, and we started going every year for Christmas. And I was like, that's where I want to go. I don't want to shovel snow anymore. I want to go somewhere where it's warm and there's palm trees and there's a beach. And so I had this, crazy idea that I could go to the University of Miami, but it was way too much money back then even. And then when my dad moved out, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to figure something else out. So I wound up registering late at going to a local college and majored in business administration because I thought it would help me get a job. I mean, that is the reason. And it's so funny is that years later, I came across my SAT scores, and it said that I wanted to major in music. And I was like, wow, I totally did not remember that at all. But goes to show you, the subconscious knows what the subconscious, wants, but it didn't get through. I was trying to be practical. So I did that. And then more wonderful stuff happened. In my freshman year of college, my older brother passed away suddenly. He died in his sleep at 33 on Mother's Day, no less.
Oh my gosh. What happened?
Yeah. He had been in the Navy, and, he drank, he smoked pot. I don't know. The autopsy said it was hardening of the arteries. So I don't know. He was actually pulling his life together. He was even working and volunteering at our local church and stuff. So it was a shame, and so that kind of really took the wind out of my sails. And I was, trying to take care of my mom, and I was skipping classes and wound up on academic probation. And so finally, when my mom found out about it, she realized, I was grieving too, not just her. And I went to a guidance counselor at college and took one of these aptitude tests to figure out what I would be good at, because clearly business administration was not my friend. I did not like economics and calculus. So I wound up that it was a mass communications major because I loved entertainment. I mean, when I was a kid, when there was only, 3 or 4 channels on TV, I had the TV guide memorized, and my parents would, say, "What's on at 8:00?" And I could tell them. So I majored in mass communications with radio, TV, film. And I had to change schools to do that because they didn't have that major where I was going. And that was perfect. And I really enjoyed that and got my degree. And then when I graduated, I moved down to Florida. And in fact, my mom, bless her heart, she gave me the best graduation gift. And it wasn't a car, but we were at the movies one night, and before the show started, she said, "Gloria, I'm divorcing you." She says, "You can move to Florida without me," because she was getting close to retirement and she wanted to go too. But she's like, "You go now," because I was graduating in December. And she's like, "You have my permission, just go. You need to start living your own life," because I was really taking care of her for a long time. So I did that. And
so you break the bonds of codependency.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And that was great because that year when I moved down, I found a church to go to. I joined the choir and made wonderful friends. We were all had just kind of either in college. I think a couple of people were still in college. Most had just graduated within the last couple of years. And I'm still friends with some of these people today. And it's been 35 years or something like that. And it was really great. And in fact, one of the people who was in the choir, one of their friends, she knew I was trying to get a job in television. I was just working secretarial stuff when I moved there. And she actually saw an ad in the paper for a local television station, or they were looking for a receptionist. And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I would get my foot in the door." So I went to look at the one ads and found that one. But then I saw a different ad if they were looking for an electronic news systems operator. And it was basically someone to help with, they were just getting the computer system in and they were doing some other stuff. And it was working for the nightly business report. And so I wound up getting that job, and I just thought it was so funny that here I flunked out of really business administration. And so now my first job in television is with a business news show. So,
that's awesome.
God has a sense of humor and knew I needed to do that. So, so I worked there for well over 10 years. It was a really great experience. I worked my way up and eventually became a backup producer for the show and a writer. And it was a wonderful, wonderful time. And then my husband, in the meantime, I got married, had 2 wonderful kids, and he got an opportunity for a job in Orlando. And so we moved up here or to Orlando area. And so I wasn't able to work in television anymore. And I became essentially stay-at-home mom for a while. And then eventually I kept getting this advertisement in the mail that said, "Can you write a letter like this?" And it was advertising a course in copywriting, so like writing junk mail. And so I decided that, I could do that. I mean, I was writing business news already. This wouldn't be that difficult. I was already writing. In fact, I was doing newsletters, volunteering for my kids' school, writing their newsletter and things like that, and writing press releases. I was doing all that stuff volunteering, not realizing that was a career that you could actually get paid to do that stuff. So I wound up investing in the course, and I started my business in 2009. And I became what I found was I liked doing what's called SEO, to be an SEO copywriter, search engine optimization, helping businesses with their websites to get them found on Google, but then also writing content in a way that's going to help people to actually take action, because it's not enough to get found on Google. I'm sure you know that, but you've got to have people want to take action on your website when they get there. And so I've been doing that. I did that for like I said, well, still do that today, but, and I mentioned my sister. So in 2015, she was diagnosed with cancer. I'm very pediatric cancer, actually, and she was in her 60s then. So it was a very, very rare sarcoma, and it was stage 4. And so she lived in Arizona at the time. I was in Florida, and so I was flying out there a lot to help her because she went through chemo and radiation. And the following year, she eventually, like I think by late summer, she stopped doing the chemo because she was finding it harder and harder to fight back from that, because it kills all the good cells in your body, not just the cancer cells. And so a couple months before she transitioned, though, one of the things that I've done actually since I started my business has been a meditation practice. And that really helped me in being a caregiver, for one thing, because it kept me, it would kind of ground me so that then I could be there for her and support her. Because I don't know if you've ever been a caregiver for anyone, or if anyone out there has done that. It's not easy, and especially if someone's in pain, and it's hard just to help them, but then also, if it's somebody that you love, you hate to see them suffer. So one morning I was meditating, and this idea popped into my head that said, you should write a book about love. And I'm like, what? Where did this idea come from? I do online marketing. That's my business. I write about blogging and social media. And I'm like, that didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And yet, for some reason, after I finished meditating, I opened up my computer and opened up a Word doc and was like, okay, well, if I were to write a book about love, what the heck would I say? And it was, well, love is an acronym. I'm like, okay. And so I came up with these 4 things. So it was the L stood for let go and let God. The O was open your heart to receive. The V was value your uniqueness. And the E was embrace your divinity. And I was like, okay, that was kind of good. And then I think the dog started barking, and I didn't do any more with it because I had to let the dog out. And later that morning, I was going through my email, and I saw an email from Hay House, who, publish authors like Wayne Dyer and, people like that. And they were offering a writer's boot camp to teach you how to write a book. And I said out loud, I'm like, okay, God, I guess you're serious. You really want me to write a book about love, because if anybody's going to teach me how to do it, it's going to be these people. So I signed up for that. And then life got in the way, because then my sister wound up in the hospital. Actually, while this was going, she was in the hospital, but things started taking a turn for the worse, and we thought we were going to lose her. So I had to fly out right then. And she eventually rallied, but then she went into hospice care. And so I didn't really touch the book for about another year, and before I was able to kind of get back into it. And in the meantime, I'd been doing a lot of different work on myself, and, doing a lot of, while I was even working with, my sister was going through this, I was in a program to learn how to run masterminds. And as part of it, they offered some personal development workshops that I was able to take. And I was, after she passed, I went to see a counselor for a while. And I was then working with a coach for my business, who wound up actually helping me more with exploring my spirituality and to write the book. And so I've kind of been on this journey. And when I finally started writing the book, and especially when I was trying to come up with a subtitle for it, I realized why I had to write a book about love. It was because I had to learn how to love myself. And the subtitle of the book is How to Stop Doubting Yourself and Start Being Yourself, which finally came to me. And that, so that's kind of where I'm at now is that really, I still do the copywriting. I still have clients who, I've been helping with their, businesses and their websites. But what I was able to do last year, for the first time, was hold a retreat for women and do some healing work, because have also learned how to do some of that, and just to be able to teach people about the love method, and to really help women in particular learn to start putting themselves first, because so often we put ourselves on the back burner and we take care of everybody else. Even if you're a business owner, it's like you're putting the business first, maybe still, even instead of taking care of your needs. But as anyone who's flown knows, you got to put that oxygen mask on yourself first, so that then you can take care of everybody else. And so that's what I really want to help women understand. It's not selfish to, practice self-care, and that, you are created in God's image, and God wants you to be happy. God wants you to live a fulfilling life. And it's important to take care of yourself to do that. And then you can take care of the other people in your life and the other things. But it really starts with you, and acknowledging that you are worthy. You are worthy of everything that you want to have. And when you take care of yourself and you really can love yourself, that's how then you can love other people. Because I think that's where so much of the stress and so much angst and so much conflict, frankly, that there is in the world right now, it stems from people just not loving themselves. So it's no wonder that they're scared or threatened by other people, because they're not taking care of themselves.
Well, what a fabulous message to start off the new year today in 2023, of self-love, self-care, connecting with God, with just your health. I mean, that's why the Lord gave me the tagline, hope is in Him, health of our body, and healing of our mind from anxiety, depression, busyness, loneliness, disconnection. So I just am so grateful to know you. And it's so funny. I'm going to show your bio real quick. Hold on just a minute. My eye vision is bad, so I got to find it here. There we go. There is a Gloria Grace's bio with her link to her podcast show, and also her Facebook group for Soulful Women's Network. So that is how that you can connect with Gloria. And, I need to pause for just a commercial, but then I want to come back and close off. So what really aligns here with your message, I have different partners that sponsor the show. So when people are talking about which one will be good, and it just flows perfectly, is a company, Gloria, an audience called Amari Global. Amari means love. And Amari Global was founded in 2018 to be their flagship product, which is called Fundamentals. The first year out the door, Gloria, it won the Nutra Awards over 8,000 manufacturers' products for the best finished product for gut, brain, heart access to rebalance it. And so they're called Amari Global, the mental wellness company, to help. And their products have actually helped veterans reduce anxiety, depression by 66%. Wow. And so it really aligns. So I'm going to pause to play that commercial. Sorry, I got to just find it here. Hold on a minute. My little thing here. Just a second. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay. So let's learn about Amari Global, because it is meaning love, mental wellness, to start 2023 off. And they've got some amazing promotions right now. And you can find them on my website. And then we want to end with Gloria. So stay tuned for one moment. Amari Global is the mental wellness company. In 2018, Amari won the Nutra Award for the world's first award-winning gut-brain axis nutrition system for their flagship product, the Fundamentals Pack. Clinically proven to increase good bacteria in the gut and incredible benefits. Amari means love, and there is love in every bottle. Mental health matters, and Amari is the mental wellness company. Prepare your body's gut microbiome for optimized mental wellness with a reboot and get yourself back to feeling joyful and motivated with mood. Round out your daily nutrition with GBX food systems. Crush your daily to-do list each day with Edge. Support your digestion and immune system with digestive, probiotics, omega, and Vita GBX supplements. Fuel your mental edge with our mental fitness pack. Feel like your best self with the Happy Hormone Pack. Unlock your brain's potential with happy neurons with the Happy Mind Pack. And combine these products for an ultimate day with the Happy Juice Pack. For weight loss and energy, order the Transformational Pack. Our Kids Pack is the first comprehensive mental wellness pack for kids and teens. For a complete mind and body nutrition system, get your kids these today. Begin your wellness journey with Amari's Starter Pack and save. Start with the Entrepreneur Pack if you're serious about making an impact on your mental, physical, and financial wellness. Launch your Amari business with all our top products, packs, offers, and save. Help others achieve overall wellness too and gain financial wellness. Become a mental wellness partner today. Shop now and save. Sign up today by going to our website listed on this page. Well, what an amazing company and wellness program. I started on those products, Gloria, in 2018 after I got diagnosed with endometrial cancer, and then I had an abdominal abscess, and then I had a pulmonary embolism, and then my gallbladder removed 8 weeks apart. And so,
my gosh.
So I needed to reboot my system, and I heard about them. And I have been on the most amazing journey. I've lost 25 pounds since being on the products. And I'm going to be 69 in February, and I feel better. And you should see my labs. My labs are off the chart. Doctors go, gosh, if I had people with labs like this in their 20s, no one would get sick. So I really, really recommend. And you can connect with me. Go to my website, braveheartworkshops.com, under Contact Us. Call me personally, and I'll help you figure out what products are best for you. They also have an assessment tool. So I'd encourage everyone to get on board for 2023 on these nutritional products. They're fabulous for everyone's health. So with that, Gloria, I just love what you're doing. And, you know, for everyone out there that has a website or is considering a website, do you have any promotions for 2023? Anything, offerings for someone to come to you and get assistance in growing their business? You need a fabulous website to grow your business. Anything that you want to close with on connecting with you?
Well, I would say, definitely reach out to me because, you can even go to engagewithgloria.com, and that takes you right to my calendar, and we can set up an appointment and talk. I don't have any specific specials at the moment, but because I just was offering something.
How about this? Anyone that goes on to Gloria's calendar in January and mention that you heard about it on the show, the Connection Show, with a code Braveheart, talk to Gloria and see if she can maybe put something together for you, knowing that you heard about it on the Connection Show, and she'll work something out for you. How does that sound?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I would definitely be happy to do that. Sure.
Yes.
I'm always willing to work things out with clients. So yeah.
Yes. Well, what a spirit you have of love and inspiration and hope in the world. And we are grateful to connect with you on the Connection Show and learn a little bit more about you. So thank you very much for joining us here today. I really am blessed to get to know you more. We have so much in common. I'll share with you off air, but we have a lot in common.
Well, I just want to Thank you so much. This was a great way for me to start the new year as well. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to getting to know you a little bit better as well. And I tell you, you do not look like you're going to be 69 either. So that's the Amari stuff is definitely working on you, lady.
Thank you very much. And before we close, I just want to give one last plug to my good friend, Brenda Ringwood. She's from Kansas City, and she started this amazing launching that's going around the world called Becoming the Best You Can Be. And she's got an event coming up in St. Louis, February 17th to 19th. So I'm going to show that so you can go to her website. It's right here, just a minute, so you can join us. It's called ComeChangeYourLife.com. You can get tickets for the in-person event in St. Louis, or you can watch it virtually. You don't want to miss this event. I'm telling you right now, we're going to have 25 amazing speakers share their stories about becoming the best you can be, and I'm going to be there on stage. So I hope you'll join us or watch us virtually if you can't get on an airplane and come to St. Louis. We'd love to connect with you at the Becoming the Best You conference in February. Thanks again for joining us, Gloria. We look forward to connecting more with you on different platforms.
Thank you.
God bless everyone. Have a wonderful 2023. Thank you for joining us on The Connection Show. We'd appreciate your support. Please go to either our Patreon or our PayPal page to support our show. We love our podcast guests and social media subscribers, so you don't miss any of our shows. Go to our website today at Braveheartworkshops.com and our Contact Us page. Click on all our social media links and subscribe to and like all our pages. Our affiliate partners, thank you for your support. Go to our affiliate partners page on our website and order from them today. They're offering discounts when you mention Braveheart. Click on their website links to order from them today.